Good morning, students. Are you ready for the revision? I hope today is the final day for your literature, I think. Next Monday exam, no. And Friday, kit distribution. So today is the last day. So whatever you want to clarify, it has to be clarified today. Okay, today I can see only just 4 students. Rest of the students, I don't know, invisible people are there. Okay. I hope you are aware the pattern of the question paper, what you are supposed to do. Mansi, please explain what is the question pattern.
So this time no options will be there.
No option will be there. Okay, then what else?
And we have written story questions, poem, and
What is that?
so it's like always, but no options will be.
What are things you are supposed to do? The way you are writing normally exams, how many questions you are supposed to answer, how many pages you are supposed to answer. And see, your camera is somewhere in the corner, I think. Only your side is there, only the wall is seen.
So sitting sideways.
Okay. Anyway, Kanishka, tell me how you are supposed to write the answers.
Sir, firstly, we have to do the questions from the drama, The Tempest. The compulsory questions are there, and then we have to choose and do the questions. Then the question comes from story and poem, but this time there will be no options in the story, especially because we have to do, I think compulsory questions will be there. We have no choices in story and poem.
Okay, so normal pattern will be there, and exactly the same pattern what the board is going to follow. That is the same thing what we are going to follow. So first extract will be there, 3 extracts, 2 you will have to write. One option will be there. So from among A, B, C, you will have to answer any 2. 10 marks, 2 questions, that is 20 marks. Then you have got the long answers, one from drama, then from short story and poem. So that will be the pattern. Maybe one option may be there, one extra question may be there, but rest of the things you will have to answer. And you have to study only just 2 short story and 2 poems. Naturally, question can be asked only from there. So naturally, the options is limited there. So please make sure sufficient content is written. That is another important thing what I need to speak. Quite often we see students writing very little and expecting 20 marks for that one or 15 marks for that one. That will be difficult for us. So please make sure that the content is sufficient. How much you are supposed to, what is the total mark of an extract? 20 marks or 15 marks or 10 marks or what is that? Utkarsh,
15.
how much?
15, I guess, sir.
15.
15 or 20. Yes, sir.
All right, total marks. The question paper is out of how many?
70.
100 or 80 or 70?
70. 70. It's 28.
Somebody said 70, somebody said 80. Okay, your paper is out of
80.
You know that the project mark and that is there, so 20 marks will be going right there. Of course, that will not be there for the first time and 6 fine board exam. Okay, so minimum 3 pages should be written. Okay, and please make sure that you should have extracts from the textbook. Something which I have told you before also, that in order to score maximum mark, you should have something taken from the textbook. Exactly, the wording should be poems and some quotes should be there. quotations. Now, I also remember once I said quotations has to be used. I remember somebody wrote quotation, lot of quotations that girl had written, but not from the textbook. I don't know whether I have told you people of that one. She had written quotations almost like the quotations which are written on the greeting cards and all those things. That kind of quotation is not what I'm asking. You need to take extracts from the textbook. What answer, whatever be the answer you are writing, developing that answer, that type of extract should be written. Not any friendly quotations about friendship and that kind of things from the greetings cards. And that is not the quotation what I'm asking. And if you are writing with the inverted comma, then wording should be exact. If you're writing, if you're underlining, even if the wording is different, but exactly from the textbook, something of that sort, then it's okay, but don't use the inverted comma. Inverted comma, if you are using, the wording has to be exactly from the textbook. All right. Any other thing should be asked? With regards to question pattern. Word meaning also will be there from drama, that also please study. No other doubts. Okay then. Any doubt from the
So I'm not.
especially from 4? That also not there. Then we shall stop the class, I think. No.
Sir, for 6 marks, how much we have to write?
He's speaking Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi, what is that? Vaishnavi, I didn't hear you properly.
Sir, for 6 marks, how much you have to write? Like it is coming 8, 6, 6 marks question, how much you have to write?
So you're asking about that question which has got divisions. 5, 5, 5.
Yes, sir.
At least one page. I said 15 marks means you should write 3 pages, I said. So at least one page should be there, that answer should be there. Though they say that 120 words and all those things. But you, the better you write, little lengthy answer is always better. Even if you miss out one point, some other point will be there. That is the most important thing. Few extra point is always better. Even if 1 or 2 points goes wrong, then also you have got some other points are there. Therefore, it's always you write little extra. Some people are in the habit of writing just minimum. Please don't stop with the minimum one. Please go a little more. I don't know what happened previous time also. I saw previous, I think it was your batch only. So what you had written was, content was very little. Content should not be very small. Content should be long. I think last time also I said, the moment I picked up the answer bundle, I was telling that these people have not written anything. So that should not be there. Content should be sufficient. Clear? Then anything else?
Yes.
Anything else to be asked? Vikram, any doubts? No doubts. Shashwat? No doubts. Okay, since nobody has got any doubts, let me see from drama if any doubt, especially from the what is called the appearance of the spirits there. When he was showing the magical, what is called his skill.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I have to ask that when the question comes about the literary devices, so we have to write the definitions also, or just we have to give the examples from the given poem?
So it will be better that you write from the poem.
Okay, sir.
So with reference to the text poem, how it is used, you give that. Definition as such, it is not needed. But you can just say
In one
in
line.
gist what it is and how it is used in the textbook. In the poem, how it was used. That way now. Not as such a definition as such is not asked.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, since you don't have a specific doubt, let's say. So in the Act 4, we had seen what is called injustice. We saw what is called first we saw Ferdinand was consoled by Prospero for having punished him. He said, I have severely punished you, austerely punished you, but your compensation, what you are going to get for the punishment, what you have received is going to be something very good. And therefore you will find, or rather I would give you 1/3 of my own life I am going to give you. So that compensation has been given. And finally we see, of course, he gives what is called, he asks him to go and spend some time with Miranda. By the time he has got some other thing, and he calls Ariel there and gives him some task. What was the task given to Ariel there? Ariel was told to collect all the spirits under him, all the junior ministers under him, to come to this island and perform something. A magical show has to be shown to Ferdinand and Miranda. Why it had to be? Because he had already promised them that he would show them his magical powers. So he asked the spirit, asked Ariel to collect everyone there. And he also asked what is called sufficient spirit should be there. There should be no, what is called, they should not be running short of any, the so-called spirits. What was the term that they used there? A corollary that should be there. So speaking that there should be, they should not be what is called running short of so-called spirits. He said you bring maximum there so that they can have all the programs properly there. And he also asked them that there should be no noise, because silence is one of the essential factors that has to be kept in mind while any chanting is to be done. Then we see the different spirits, and mainly Iris, Ceres, and Juno. These are the three spirits mainly we are speaking about who came there. We know who is Iris. Iris is the goddess of rainbow, and Iris speaks to Ceres. Ceres had been addressed there as what is called the goddess of fertility, goddess of crops, the goddess of fertility and of all the crops and harvests of the earth. She had been what is called given all the compliments there, and we see that thy trophy mountains where live nibbling sheep. Nibbling sheep, I hope you know, you remember what is that nibbling sheep? Sheep moving around, biting all the short grass there, eating, and flat mats thatched with the stover. Stover of, I hope you know what is meant by stover. Fodders, that is something which is meant for the, something that can be kept for as food for the cattle. Thy banks with point and twilled brims, which spongy April at thy hest brims, to make all the nymphs chase crowns and they bloom groves, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor's loves, being last lone, thy pole clipped vineyard, and thy sea merged sterile and rocky heart, where thou thyself dost air, the queen of the sky, whose watery arch and messenger am I, bids thee leave these, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and sport. So somebody was invited. So Ceres is told, first of all, she was given a lot of compliment who she is, and not speaking what is called because of your generosity, bountifulness. The month of April, which is made wet because of the rain and all the spongy grass, because of her kindness, maybe all the hills and mountains are filled with the grass and flowers and all those things. If anything is good things on this earth, it's all because of Ceres, all the vegetations that are there. And she says, what are these flowers are used for? These flowers are made for or used for making garlands for virgins, to make cold nymphs. Nymphs. What is nymphs? Somebody? Utkarsh, what do you understand by nymphs? Unmute and
I
speak.
don't know. Don't know, sir.
Any idea?
No,
No
sir.
idea. Nancy.
Sir, minor female deities.
Okay, minor female deities. So deities meaning?
Goddesses only.
Yeah, semi-spirit, semi-goddesses and all those things we can address them as. Okay, so they are minus female deities. To make cold nymphs, chaste crowns. Chaste crowns. Crowns as a sign of their chaste means being
Pure.
pure. So a sign that these people are pure. Chaste crowns and broom groves. Then broom groves are there. Whose shadow? The dismissed bachelors. So who are these dismissed bachelors referring to? Asma, who is this dismissed bachelors? My can't hear you. Your speaker is off.
इलेक्ट्रिकल इंसुलेटर और इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टर अलग अलग है देखो इलेक्ट्रिकल इंसुलेटर ये है और कंडक्टर ये ग्रेफाइट और ग्रेफाइट
No idea. Kanishka?
So the dismissed, the bachelors who are rejected by their lovers.
Okay, rejected by their lovers maybe or beloveds. So whose shadow? The dismissed bachelor love being last loan. Last loan. Last loan meaning? Meda. Last loan. No idea. Meda is not in the class, I think, today. Are you there?
Sir, you are not audible to me. I cannot hear anything.
Anybody else is there who cannot hear me?
Me.
Oh, Asma.
Sir, not able to hear anything from the starting of the class.
That is good. I don't know what is. What about others? I think others are audible, no?
It's audible.
I can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me see how many. Just raise your hand. Those who are not, who cannot hear me. Shreya, can you hear me? Palak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think only two people are there. I think Meda and Asma. All of this is okay. I think there is no problem. I think. And people those who have no video, I don't care whether they can hear it or not because they are not part of. Only for today also I will permit you without video. In the next class always you will be waiting in the waiting room because students, those who are what is called invisible students, I won't teach next class always. Since this is the last class, I will tolerate one more day. After that, all the invisible people will be invisible from the class. Okay, now I don't know what else I can do for those people, those who can't hear. Now is it audible? Meda? She can't hear, I think she's still waiting there. Okay, whatever the case, we'll continue. Maybe some problem will be there only because if it is problem from here, nobody should be able to hear. Okay. So we said last loan, last meaning also we know what is last.
Young girl.
Girls. So forsaken by, last loan mean forsaken by some girls, and naturally when he is discouraged, he goes, and we know that many people, when we are discouraged or we are troubled by something, naturally we prefer to sit somewhere all alone, and that is what, and solitary areas. That is why they have chosen this particular place whose shadow the dismissed bachelor love being last known. Thy pole-clipped vineyards and thy sea marts, sterile and rocky heart. All these are the description of the areas all clipped. Vineyard. What is that vineyard? The vineyards where what we call it as all the wine plants are climbing, almost like the description which we had given in the, almost like the description which we had given. Where?
Purchase.
Huh?
Salvatore. Salvatore.
Salvatore. Salvatore is a story where we have already seen about what is called the vineyards and all those things. Okay, moving further. So Rocky had and all those things, and we finally we conclude that series also used to come to this like these areas. Now we know that these minor spirits are supposed to be what is called haunting or the areas, the frequently visiting the rivers and streams and all those. They are supposed to be the spirits of these streams and rivers and hills and all those things. So they will be roaming around here. So where thou thyself dust air, where you walk to take their fresh air. So you yourself move around. So here the queen of the sky, whose watery arch and messenger I am. Who is the queen of the sky?
Juno.
Juno. All right. Who is Juno? In the last class I asked.
The wife of Jupiter.
Wife of Jupiter. I think that was the question which I asked. Right? Who is the husband of Juno? Last class I asked Mansi only, I think, no? Yes. Okay. So they have been invited there, here on this grass plot, in this very place to come and sport. Her peacock fly amain. Why this peacock is used here? Reference of peacock, why it is there? Prachi. Prachi also cannot hear, I think at least there is no reaction as if she has not heard it what I said. Ayushi Srivastava, why this peacock is referred here?
Sir, Juno travels through that means of transport.
All right, peacock in mythology. Peacock draws the chariot of goddess Junos. As I have mentioned that time also, there are so many different gods and goddesses are there. They have got different vehicles. Maybe they are different animals. Starting from Raj, I think. Raj, whose vehicle is that one, right?
The Lord Ganesha.
Who?
The Lord Ganesha.
Okay. Lord Ganesh, she says. Okay. And tiger?
Goddess Durga.
Durga. Anybody else will say? I think one more god travels by tiger, I think. Anyway, at least in our side there is Hindu god is who travels by tiger, and because here maybe. Okay, it's all depend on areas, regions, and on beliefs. Okay, whatever the case, now peacock is used here by Juno. Okay.
Sir, can I, excuse me, sir?
Then Ceres addresses Iris. Ceres addressed to Iris. How is it? Just mutual compliments, I think. So here she says, "Hail, many colored messenger that does disobey the wife of Jupiter." Who? So finally, she just asking after giving all the compliments. You are like this. You are like this, and all those. But is a person who never disobeys Jupiter, wife of Jupiter. Why did you call me to this area? So she was eager to know what was the reason that you have invited me to this, or invited Ceres to this area. What was the reason? They have been invited there to shower the blessings upon a blessed couple, Ferdinand and Miranda. A contract of true love to celebrate. They had come there to celebrate a contract of true love.
Sir, can I know where you are teaching? Now I can hear you.
What is that?
Sir, can I know where you are teaching? Now I can hear you.
You won't leave. You can't hear anything. Now I am
So-
also.
So she's asking, where are you teaching? Because she can hear you now.
All right. It's on page number 96, drama. A contract of true love to celebrate and some donation freely, some donation also. They are going to give you some donation for what is called a blessing. Now this donation is actually the blessings, so they grant them some blessings. And of course, then the problem comes, Ceres is worried whether who is accompanying the goddess there. Juno, she wants to know whether if Venus and her son, we know who is Venus and her son, who is Venus' her son?
Cupid.
Cupid. And she just wants to find out whether Cupid is accompanying her because they have got their own personal reasons or what is called a dislike for each other. And what was the personal reason? Since they did plot the mean that dusky dish, my daughter got her and her blind boy scandalous company I have foresawn. So it was because of their plotting. Somebody had what is called taken away, abducted the daughter of Ceres, and they had gone away from there. Ever since they were not in a talking time. That is what in the last class I said, some of the goddesses are not in a talking times. So they were not in a talking time. They were avoiding the scandalous company. Scandalous company, that may be something that can be kept in mind. As far as possible, try to avoid scandalous company. What do you mean by that one?
Disgraceful company.
Disgraceful company.
Disgraceful.
There are certain companies that are not proper. Those companies should be avoided. Avoid people who are dangerous. Otherwise, naturally what happens that even those good people, they will lose their name. Parents might tell you, avoid certain company. Why? They know that even if you don't do anything, but if you are in their company, naturally you will also be considered as a bad person. Even if you are in the company of some dons, you may be very innocent, but the moment they hear that you are a companion of Dawood Ibrahim, naturally you also will be considered as one of those kind. So naturally it is always no use of trying to prove I am innocent and all those things. If you are in that company of that person, naturally people will consider you as a small don. So therefore, that is what they have done. Ceres has done. The scandalous company he has foresawn. Foresawn meaning
Sworn to give up.
sworn to give up. Sworn to give up meaning what is that? I think that is a word meaning I have given. I think sworn to give up. What does it mean, that one?
That he will never, they will never be in their company. They have sworn
I
that
don't join their company. I have decided to what is called avoid their company. I have decided to, I have promised somebody that from today onwards I will not be in their company. Okay. And then she is consoled by saying, don't worry about that one. They have gone away from here. They have gone to their mother's land, almost like during holidays, what you people do. They have gone a visit to mother's house, I think, place. Where is that place?
Paphos.
Paphos. And her son, dove drawn. Here it is, another vehicle we have seen. Dove drawn with her. Here thought they too have done some wanton charm, some mischief they have been doing on Miranda and Ferdinand, but unfortunately they have miserably failed in that one, and therefore they have left. It is said that he has abandoned. Who is abandoned? This Cupid has abandoned his game of shooting arrows, and he has decided to live like any ordinary boys there. So whose vows are that no better right shall be paid, or Hymen's stores be lighted, but in vain. So what was their trick played there? They tried something on, it is not mentioned what was the trick they have played on Miranda and all those things, but they had a promise that they shall not have what is called a whose vows are that no better right shall be paid, or Hymen's torch is lighted. What do you mean by Hymen's torch is lighted?
Before the marriage ceremony is performed.
The marriage is solemnized. What do you mean by solemnized? Before the marriage is solemnized.
Taken place.
Make it as a grand feast, officially declared as something. Okay, so before it is legally approved. So when he has paid, but in vain, Mars Fort Minion is returned again. Her wapish-headed son has broke his arrows, swear he will shoot no more, but play with sparrows. So he decided to play with sparrows. Now he says, he has declared he will not shoot the arrows. I hope you know what is meant by that, shooting arrows. What is the significance or symbolic meaning of the shooting arrows there? If you shoot with that arrows and if arrows stick on you, you will fall in love with somebody. In that context, I had said a story in the previous class. Anybody remembers what was the story? Again, story of jealousy. Nobody remembers. At least those kind of funny stories, at least you should remember. Story of a beautiful girl there, and somebody had asked Cupid to shoot some arrows and make it fall in love with monster. Everyone has forgotten that. And finally, we say that Cupid falls in love, though he was told to shoot arrow and make that lady, I also forget the name of that lady, so fall in love with a monster, but seeing that this girl seems to be very beautiful, Cupid fall in love with her and he gets married. And there was a condition that she should not see his face. Okay, nothing you remember, so I shall leave it there. Okay. So he has decided not to shoot the arrows and he has decided to play with sparrows and be a boy right out, just be like any other boy. And then Ceres speaks, the highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know, by her gate, by her gate. What is the by her gate meaning?
By her walking style.
The manner of walking. Then she comes there and Juno gives her blessings to the married couple. We know that honor, riches, marriage blessing, long continuance and increasing hourly joy be still upon you. The blessing is given that every hour let joy be there, blessings be there, happiness, you may have a long life and prosperity, increasing prosperity every hour. May joy be upon you every hour. Juno sings her blessings upon you. This is my blessings of Juno. That is what she says. And Ceres also gives her blessing. She is a goddess of fertility, and therefore she says that earth increase, poison plenty, barns and garners never empty, wines and clustering bunches, growing plants with goodly burden bowing, spring come to you at the furthest, in the very end of the harvest, scarcity and want shall shun you. Ceres blessing so is on you. So Ceres blessing gives. So naturally she is almost like if it's an agriculture department, let's say. So all the blessings that should come from agriculture department, she gives everything. You never be what is called your barns, godowns. Everything be always be filled with abundance. All the crops be in abundance in your house. You will never be in need of anything. That is what she said. And we say vines and all those plants just bowing down towards the earth because of the burden. What burden? Burden of is fruits, maybe wine and all those things. Lot of grapes will be there and all those things will be hanging, bending down almost. The example, as I said, mango trees, when it is heavy with mangoes bending towards the earth. So let it be like that. And Ferdinand is very happy with all the vision what they have seen, and probably they wish, and he says, I may have the what is called I may believe that these are all done by spirit with your power. And this continues. We will see finally Prospero asking them to be silent for some more time. because it is silence is needed if they are continuing with that one. Then we said about the appearance of nymphs, and that is called almost taking the role of sicklemen, those who are harvesting and all those things. And that is the area I think we stopped where. I think in gist we have said what it is. Anything else to be asked particularly? Since you didn't ask, I have just summarized what is needed. Anything to be said? All right then. I'd ask you, in case if you have got any doubt from the poem, you may ask also. Anything to be clarified from the poem? Which are the poem you have to study?
The darkling thrush and birches.
Darkling thrush and birches. Any doubts? Yadav, no doubt. Did you revise the poem? Anyway, only if you revise, you will have doubts. Yes, Asma? Can you hear me now? But I can't hear you. If anybody else can hear her, tell me what is her doubt. Can't hear you. Anybody else? Saxena, any doubt? No doubt. Rahul? Rahul Mal, no doubt, I think. Agreda? No doubt. Did you revise the poem? Yes. Dubey?
Sir?
Other who sets are there? Asma, what is that doubt? If you can speak.
Chooses reality.
We say action speaks louder than words, but I can hear only see only action. I'm not getting it. Sometimes we say no, silence and smile will do you very good, but during examination and this one, it will not do. There is no doubt. I will stop, I think. Nobody has anything to ask. And please make sure that next class, as I said, that will be after the exam and all those things. Invisible people will not be permitted here, okay? They will be waiting somewhere else. Okay, if that is the case, all the best for your exam. Do well. And I think Friday you are supposed to come and get the exam kits. Okay. All right, then see you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.